Hey guys, welcome to With Care. I'm here today with Nikki Bergen, creator of the Bell Method, and we're going to be joined by her little daughter, Gabrielle, who's 4 months old. Gabby is not a big fan of facing in a baby carrier, and so Nikki contacted me to chat about forward-facing carries for Gabrielle. She's 4 months old now and has solid head and neck control, so I'm here to help Nikki out.
Thank you so much. It's true. I know so much about the ergonomics for women during pregnancy, postpartum with my Pilates background, but I realized I have a huge gap of knowledge as it relates to proper ergonomics for babies. And there's so much information out there that's a bit, questionable, and you don't really know what's proper, what's not proper. It's confusing. And so that's why I contacted Care. So thank you.
No problem. Perfect. I'm really happy that we can go over this today and make sure that you feel comfortable putting Gabby in the position that works for you guys.
Awesome. Okay, so because my baby does not like to face in, I'm trying to find a safe and ergonomic way of having her face out, and I want to know if that's even an option.
Definitely. There's a lot of misinformation out there about forward-facing carriers. A lot of people are concerned it causes hip dysplasia. We have no research to show that any of our baby carriers cause hip dysplasia. If we've got a concern that our baby's at risk of hip dysplasia, we should always speak to our pediatrician or our healthcare provider, and we'll take that into consideration about what might be the most ergonomic way to wear them. But we must make sure that we understand that all of our carriers are safe, and that if they give you the option of forward-facing, we just want to make sure we're doing it at a time when our baby is developmentally ready for that. Do they have nice, stable head neck control? And have they reached the age and the developmental milestones that the particular manufacturer is asking for? So some of our carriers will say 3 months plus good head control. Some will say 5 months plus good head control. Some will say 6 months good head control. Okay. So again, it's just about where is your baby? And again, do they fit that carrier so their head can come up over that forward-facing panel? And are they nice and strong so they'll be able to keep their airway upright, not compromising that in any way?
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Okay, so when I'm going to choose the carrier, please help me determine if I'm going to do stretchy or structured, because there's a lot of options clearly out there and it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, there are tons of baby carriers on the market now. It can be a little bit overwhelming at times. I will say that even though some of our manufacturers still endorse the use of stretchy wrap type carriers for a forward-facing position, most baby-wearing educators now have come to the consensus that they're not our safest option. That's because our baby's head is the heaviest part of their body, and when a baby is in a forward-facing position, they typically have to slightly arch their back to accommodate their parent's abdomen. Maybe not in a mom like yourself, but typically. And that means that if our baby was to lean forward with that heavy head, they could kind of flip their body forward, and perhaps that stretchy textile wouldn't have the support to hold their body in properly. And so that's why we typically do go for more of kind of our soft structured buckle carriers, again, the ones that are intended for our forward-facing carries. So we can try some of those out today with Gabby and maybe show everyone her in one that would fit her properly.
Awesome. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so what am I looking for in terms of her positioning in a forward-facing carry?
Yeah, so we really want to make sure that Gabby's comfortable, that she's in a seated position, that her bottom and her legs are supported. Ideally that she's not dangling from the carrier, and that her face is able to clear that panel. Gabby's almost ready for a nap now, so she's a little bit fussy, but we also want to make sure that you're comfortable in the carrier. So thinking about, again, our baby's ergonomics, that really nice seated position, and making sure that you're not having any back or pelvic floor pain. Yeah, are you all done?
She loves it. She's just tired. Okay, so I've got my carrier. Can I go on like a 3-hour hike with her facing out?
Typically most of our manufacturers state that a forward-facing carry position is for a brief period of time. That's for a few different reasons. One is that our babies often get overstimulated by the world around us. We kind of forget that this busy kind of city and places that we are has a lot going on for us. They're taking in a lot. It can overwhelm them. Typically, they want to turn into our body to kind of calm themselves. And when they're forward-facing, they don't have that ability. So we do want to think typically about a brief period of time. So you can keep an eye on your baby, look for signs that they're being overstimulated, they're getting fussy and upset. Yeah. The other thing always to consider, though, is that if our baby's getting tired or starting to fall asleep, we must remove them from the forward-facing position and turn them inward, because if they fell asleep forward-facing, they could go into a deep chin-to-chest position, compromising their airway.
That's a good thing to know.
Exactly. The other thing always to keep in mind, and I'm sure you know this as a Pilates instructor, is that, forward-facing carries is harder on the wearer.
Mhm.
So our body's carrying that load further off our body, which means that it's a little bit harder on us.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, if you're starting to get back pain, lower upper back pain, if you're having pressure in your pelvic floor,
Yeah.
stopping that forward facing carrier position and turning them inward. And both of us recommend seeing a pelvic floor physiotherapist. Yes. Anyone who's had a baby should
Number one recommendation.
100%. So we're both in agreement with that. And making sure really that your pelvic floor is strong enough to accommodate baby wearing before you're going out, especially for those long trips. Again, for something like a long hike, some alternatives would be as your baby gets older and is maybe getting into that nice seated position, able to move into a crawling position, so nice and sturdy. Back carries.
Good.
Again, lots of our soft structure
How many
carriers.
months?
Typically that's 6 to 9 months depending on the baby, 9 months plus for sure. But again, depending on when they're getting nice and sturdy. The other option is a nice hip carry. So both of those, once our baby is sitting on their own, again, nice and kind of strong, those are great alternatives to switching up from that forward facing position.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I posted recently on Instagram this question about baby carriers and got like 200 comments, and everyone seemed to have something slightly different to say. So I really would love you to tell us, what is your number one biggest piece of advice for baby wearing?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that you got that many comments. It's a very controversial topic.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest piece of advice is that there is no one baby carrier on the market that is going to serve everyone's purpose, that's going to work for everyone through all phases and stages of your baby's life. Really important to remember that. The best baby carrier for you is the one that suits your body, your baby, your budget, and can be used safely and comfortably every time. So again, what one person loves, another person will hate. And so I always encourage you to try before you buy. If you can head to something like, I host a free monthly baby wearing meetup.
I wish I had known about that before having her 4 months ago.
Yeah, come to a drop-in, try on some carriers, see what works for you. Because honestly, tons of people will say, this is the carrier. But the problem is, if it doesn't fit you, then you're not going to love it and you're going to regret that purchase. And these are not cheap investments. No. These are products that are quite expensive. And so again, we want to purchase something we really, really love.
That's good advice. Try before you buy.
Yes, definitely. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions or comments, please just comment below and let us know if there's any topics you want covered in the future.
This has been so helpful, and I really hope you guys feel it was helpful also. And just have to really say thank you for being here. It's been awesome. There's a lot to know.
Awesome. I'm so happy this was helpful for you. So don't forget that scroll down below and you'll see all of the resources for Nikki and I for the Bell Method and all the information and things that we shared in this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe below so you can stay up to date of all of my future videos. And hope to see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.